Okay. Let me pop this little chat out. It sucks having when you're used to having the screens and then you have the laptop. It's like
How many screens do you usually use, like when you're
oh,
like working, like editing, like doing YouTube stuff?
normally just two, but
Okay.
because it's so much bigger too.
Yeah.
I'm like no space. But I
Yeah.
think we're coming through now anyway. So
Okay.
hi everyone, welcome. And of course I'm here with Jess
Hi,
and
everybody. Let us
with
know
me.
if you can
Yeah, well,
let
let
it,
us know
guy.
what it's like.
Yeah, in the chat, can you let us know if you can hear us like well through our mics, and if like we're just because we're both not in our homes right now, so we just we can see you. Yes, but like, is the video clear? Like, it's not pixelated or anything. We're assessing our own Wi-Fi. Okay, they
Seems
say
good.
they say
Oh,
yes.
that's good.
Okay, hear you loud
Oh,
and
good. Okay,
clear.
good. Because I'm not on my
Okay.
regular mic too. So, um,
Jess, you are frozen.
yeah, that's what it looked like to me. But it's still you can
Jess is
still
on a
hear you.
delay. Oh, then it's my fucking Wi-Fi. I mean, I don't know should I
Do you have anything
I have
else open?
no.
Mm.
Just
You
like
still sound okay though.
a
Like
browser window.
yeah, you still sound okay.
Jess is slow then frozen. Um, should I like reboot my computer? Yeah, they say Jess is pixelated. Okay, so it's my Wi-Fi. Um, should I like reboot my computer?
If you want to try,
Okay.
and then we can, because it might, sometimes it's just a
Okay. And it'll just let me back in through the same link?
yeah. I'll just see you at the bottom and add
Okay.
you
So
in.
give me like 2 minutes and then okay.
Yeah, and then we'll add you back in. And
Yep.
then if not, it's just deal with it. Okay, so as you can see, I have arrived in LA and I got to LA on I don't even know what day it is today, Wednesday, and because I call the time like my watch is still in UK time. It's just like not even trying to think of what's going on. But yeah, I got here Wednesday, but I literally my plane landed an hour and a bit late, so I had to run, which I'm glad no one saw me because I was running through LAX with a suitcase that is the exact same size as me and my Bet Porter equality bag that Marsha gave me when I was on set. And everybody take their drink. And then when I went to my sister's and yes, we just like had, a nice time at Target, my favorite, but I just was in Target again. And what else did I do? Oh, I went to the snow yesterday. Oh my god, my sister has a golden retriever puppy. Oh, it's so cute. I put a picture on my Instagram stories if you go look. Oh, she's so cute. And then yeah, my sister and her husband dropped me off at the airport this morning, and they were very gentleman and gentlewoman with my suitcase for me because I'm like 5'2" on a good day, but my sister is like 6'1" and her husband is like 6'5", so they were laughing at me with my suitcase. But then today I got here just after lunchtime, and then by the time I got to the hotel and blah blah blah, blah and yeah, I went to Target already. So here's Jess back.
Hey.
Oh, you're still a little bit. I think
It's
it
my
looks better though.
okay. I mean, I restarted my computer. The Wi-Fi here just is not
I
it's
used
just
to have this
it's
problem
not great.
all the time. All the I ended up getting like two boosters, and I had to upgrade my Wi-Fi
Oh,
because when I
wow.
started my channel, I lived
Mhm.
in this place that was like now I live in like the main town, but I used to live like in this like village basically, and no
Mhm.
matter like the highest speed I had, it didn't matter. It just was shit out there, and I had this problem like all the time on live. So a big reason as to
Yeah.
why I moved to where I moved was like, oh, the internet will be
Yeah.
better.
Sorry, guys. I'm in an Airbnb. Um,
But you sound fine.
it
That's
is
that's
what
the
it
main
is.
point.
There's nothing I
Yeah.
can do. Um, but I have plenty of thoughts, so that should cue
I mean,
you.
you sound the worst would be if we could see you and you sounded bad,
Oh,
but
okay.
yeah, so I think
Okay.
it's good. So anyway, technical issues, but we both are on the road, so
Yeah.
yeah, we have a lot to talk about, and I kind of don't even know where to begin.
I
Obviously,
yeah, I mean, you had a violent reaction.
I'm sorry. I was really I mean, it probably was a lot of things. It
Do
probably
you
was
feel let me ask you this. Do you feel have you okay, 2 questions. Have you okay, number 1, have you watched the episode again since?
yeah,
Or select scenes?
select scenes, yeah.
And do you still feel the same way, or, like, has anything changed?
I think I did just because I've given them so many chance. Do you know what I mean? And then they did really. I mean, obviously that's their job too to build it up, and my job that nobody asked me to do. But it just I really thought they were gonna come through this time, and I should have known. But I think now I can just look at it and say it is what it is. Bette and Tina got married, and those bits were good. The OG bits were good. I loved having Tasha back, and I'm just gonna have to fast forward through the rest and just deal with it.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I felt it just left me feeling empty. Like,
Yeah,
it didn't there to me, there was no real substance, even in the vows. Like, I remember when I watched it the other day, I was like, "I'm not connecting with this for some reason." And then between, like, yesterday and today, when they posted, like, the vows, oh, they cut half of it out. Like, that is why I wasn't connecting to it. Which is
they
so
cut
insane.
so much shit.
Why would they cut stuff out of the vows? Like, it was meaningful. It's for the audience to connect with these characters.
They cut so much shit though. Like this is also the thing. So and I said this even before the episode aired. Everything that I am told by people who read the script and like are in those meetings being like or table reads or meetings before while they're still working on the script or the other people that tell me things are people who are literally on the set filming or like you know whatever their job on set is. So once that I don't have anyone that's like an editor or you know anything. So once it's shot, like most of them don't even know what airs until the episode airs and they see it.
Mhm.
So anything that was there was a lot of stuff like I would say on a rough guess, like at least 15 minutes of like probably double of what Bette and Tina actually had was because every scene there was more. And I don't know whether it was filmed and cut then or whether it was because even if there's a video when Laurel's getting her hair done on the last day, you
Mhm.
can see her script has like massive X's through it. So like a lot of and that's normal. Like a lot of that stuff probably wasn't filmed, but
Mhm.
there will be a lot of deleted scenes and things because especially a season finale, they always overfilm these episodes by like
Right.
10 minutes, but for a season finale, they definitely will have, and I just wish that they would put it out.
It it felt like now, like, in now that, like, I've had a day to kind of think about it, the whole, like, Tibette is endgame, that whole thing, and now having seen this episode, it actually feels like they were just checking the box. Okay, we're gonna make these fans happy. It didn't feel there was no soul to it. It was soulless, and the whole show is soulless. Like, the whole series, like, doesn't really have a soul. I mean, Bette was the soul, but, like, she was missing this entire season. And I don't count last week's episode because we never even saw her,
Yeah.
um, we never even saw Bette at home, we never saw her at work. It didn't feel like we were seeing her last week.
No, it as well, I said kind of this yesterday on Twitter that I really like obviously there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes, and I've said for a very long time that this show is very unique in the sense that it is such a show that is so heavily driven by social media, and there this point that we've got to, and other people coming back on the show, and scenes being put in, or this happening, Bette and Tina Endgame, none of these things would have happened if social media didn't exist, if the L Word fandom wasn't what it was,
Mhm.
because they they basically put them together because of like all the ruckus on social media, like,
But they
and
didn't. It was so fake. I don't know.
but
It
that's
just
why I think that that they're like doing that, because they're like, we are being forced to do this, so we're just gonna do it in like a shitty way.
um yeah. I mean, I made a list of my pros and cons, and I have my favorite scene, and then I have like, well, my cons is basically just like a laundry list of problems and things for us to like talk about the episode. Like
Okay,
things
yeah.
that should have been in the episode that weren't, things that would have been very easy to like scene substitutes, basically. Things where you had the actors and if it just was written another way. Um
Yeah.
so we can talk about that. Oh, I want to talk about, can we please talk about Pam Greer's tweet,
What
which
was going
Holland
on there?
Taylor commented on and then Seppi reposted today.
I saw that. Like, what was happening?
What did you, why do you think, I mean, what is she just sitting at home like streaming Gen Q? Like the timing just, was she just getting like a barrage of texts of not texts of tweets, and that was her like response?
Yeah, I mean, it's so hard to tell, like, how, because I think most of the L Word cast, maybe with the exception of Laurel, like, aren't, and Ari probably, aren't really, like, in the social media. Like, they are very, very, like, they don't go looking, they don't, and that's quite normal for anybody, even like YouTube people. Like, you don't actively go, like, you'll read your, they probably read their own comments. I know, like,
Mhm.
people, Marja and stuff, like, they are active on Instagram, and like Alicia and stuff probably read their own
People are
comments.
asking what the tweet was. Guys, just go to Pam
Oh,
Greer's last tweet.
yeah,
She
go to her
tweeted
Twitter.
about oh good, somebody just
Oh,
posted it.
thank you,
Okay,
thank you.
thank you. She was basically posting her like backstory for Kid. And she's been very public about how much she loved being on the show and like playing Kid
Yeah.
and how much she loves Jennifer Beals and stuff. But okay, wait, go on, Ash.
Yeah, so I think that, I mean, even some of them, I've talked to some of them about it, and said like, "Oh, what do you think about fans saying this or that or blah?" And they're not even aware of it.
Like who?
So most of them, like, especially all the
Are you
newbies,
talking about
like,
actors or like writer directors?
both.
Oh, okay.
Like, I'm sure, I don't know about the new writers, but like, they seem to read Twitter and stuff, because Marja has said to me before, "Oh, that's like a lot of the how people like Kaylani and stuff," and like they were doing those, they mentioned like the Astro parties and stuff like that, because the
Mhm.
younger writers had said to her. But they, I mean, I think it's obvious too on Pans that, like, they aren't even.
Well, they act like the show doesn't even exist.
Yeah. Bec
Occasionally they in the past 2 weeks they referenced it, but like I I don't know.
Yeah, I think that they, so, I mean, maybe it could be even something as simple as, like, she's just getting, like, a flood of stuff because
Yeah.
Twitter's changed, and, like, Laurel liked a couple of things a while ago, and now that For You tab, so I think that's how it gets fed to her. So maybe one time Pam's, like, looked at stuff and it's like,
Right. Exactly. Where are all the okay, so not the famous people, like where okay, if we're just talking about like the wedding itself, Bette and Tina knew
No one.
the only people Bette and Tina knew well were Shane and Alice. Nobody there, they didn't know any of the people there. Like none of Angie's friends were there. They didn't invite Bella. Like Angie didn't invite Bella. Like that made no sense. And
But it was just with like the whole, I don't know, any other show, like it's just so about the people and the guests and like everybody be it just would have made more sense if they couldn't get the people back, they didn't have the time or the budget or the schedule, just have them do a little thing with Alice, Shane, Angie, and like a couple of other people. Like why have this big thing if it means nothing? And I mean, I'm sure there was some like they are on like a really tight budget because there's like there's lots of the times that they've spoken about like, oh, we can't lose this day, and they shoot 4
mm,
scenes in a day, like it's constant, like there's they don't have a lot of leeway the way like a Grey's Anatomy or something does.
uh,
But I just don't understand the decision to rush this big thing when it didn't really like, there was no reason for it. Like everybody would have just preferred to have a little thing with the actual characters that we like. Why
yeah.
do we want to see like a crowd of people? And I mean, I'm sure there's some people that were like, oh cool, like Chriselle and G Flip and stuff, but I only found out who they were like when
I mean, that's
somebody
ridiculous.
posted
Oh,
about
right.
them.
Okay. Somebody's saying, where was Joyce and Phyllis? Had this been, I mean, I wonder if they even asked them. I
I
wonder if
will
they were,
say I don't think like Jane Lynch is so busy. So someone like that, I can say, that'd be really hard for them to get. But
mhm,
the Rachel Shelleys and like
mhm.
it just is crazy that there was no, like they really but that's also why I don't understand, because I never would have. I mean, I guess I would have thought like, oh, Helena or someone would come. And again, like I love Tasha. I'm so glad that she came back. But I would have expected some little, even like James or someone.
Oh my
But the
God. My king, my favorite.
like that, but and this is the thing. Like I feel as though if it was, if someone was in the writer's room or something, that I've always said they should have had someone that really knew the show, loved the show, but still
Mhm.
was a good experienced writer and was in the room. I feel as though they would have vetoed the decision about Chriselle and G Flip and said no, have like James and like Gabby DeVoe or something, like, do you know what I mean?
Why would Gabby
I
DeVoe
don't
be
know,
in
but
that Tina's
but
wedding?
go as someone's date, because it was always Alice
That's
running into her as
hilarious.
like exes. But you know what I mean? Like,
But like, I love that not one person from Bette and Tina's family. I mean, okay, I know I've talked a lot about the mom. This would have been a perfect. I mean, I guess it would have been too much backstory. They didn't have the time. Jennifer Beals is like, I want to be here for a day and never look at you fucking people again. Like, it's so clear that like she doesn't no scenes with any. Like, I mean, but that's fine. I'd be the same way. I'd be like, I only want to interact with like these people. Um, it was just like even Tina, single member of Tina's family at the wedding.
I know her mom is dead, so, and
Yeah, but like not a
she's the
sibling, not a
sister.
cousin, not anybody. You have
Mm,
nobody in your family.
yeah.
Zero. And of course, they had to kill Kit for no fucking reason. She could have moved somewhere. Her career, her music career could have taken off and she could have been on the road. They could have. Why would you kill a character that paints you into a corner of like, now we can never bring this person back? And it leaves a really bad taste in fans' mouths.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Especially when
Watch
you
the
do it off
interrogation tapes.
screen.
I did. I don't want to.
We're
You don't
all
have to tell me to watch them, okay?
we're scarred. We're scarred.
I actually don't know if I ever watched them, to be honest. I think I just know what happened in them, and I'm like, not for me.
I
Um,
they're like a trauma in my brain.
Jesus.
But that's what I mean. Like I just cannot understand those decisions like that about not again, if people are busy or people are dead or whatever it is, like, okay, they can't have Dana there, they can't have Kit there. Jane Lynch is busy, other people are busy, but someone, and the thing is that they basically said, "I can't believe who we've got. I can't," and they made
Who
this big.
said that?
Loads of them have said it,
But who
actually.
are they referring to?
That's what I don't understand. Even so there's an interview coming out on Drinks at Dana's, and we filmed it before the finale, and people saying like, "Oh yeah, people I never thought we'd see," unless they meant like Eileen, but
That's insane. That's crazy.
so
I mean, okay, fine. So forget about the actual guests at the wedding. What we should have had. Okay, let me. I want to get into like things that. Oh, like, do you have like pros and? I mean, we know the cons. Like, what were your like highlights?
I mean, like obviously, I love all the Bette and Tina stuff. The only thing that I was like, "What's going on here?" was some of the dialogue in the fridge was, I
Yeah,
don't
I
know,
agree
like,
with you.
kind of, it didn't
Very
seem like
awkward.
that. Yeah, like them.
But can I be honest with you? It hasn't felt like them at all this season.
Yeah, there's been some moments that I'm just like, I mean, like the chemistry and all that's still there, and
But is it?
I do
I don't
think.
know that I agree with that. Like, it's not the way. It's fine, but it's not. If I was viewing this for the first time, like, I wouldn't think anything of it.
I
It's
think it's
not the way it was in the original series.
I think it's just because they're in so little that
Mhm,
I speak to people who are even there's other YouTubers who used to cover the show, and they're not covering the show this season
mhm,
because they're like, there's nothing there for me. Like, they didn't watch the original. They're like that little bit younger than us, that
mhm,
they were too young when it was on, and they only got into it because, or got into Gen Q because they're like, oh, like I cover lesbian content or whatever.
mhm.
And they have, tried a couple of times to watch the original, but they have no connection to Bette and Tina, and they can't even get into them as like a Gen Q couple because they're in like,
There's nothing to grab onto.
if you added up their time this season, they're in, they wouldn't even be in an hour. I bet you, if you add it all up.
Somebody earlier added up the time. I was gonna say that, like, I need somebody to add up the amount of. I want an Excel spreadsheet with all the screen time. I want Bette and Tina. I want Tess. I want Dani and her crew of. I can't. And like Pippa, I'm curious about that as well. And of course Micah and Maribel, my arch nemesis. I want the screen time for each of those because somebody earlier had written they added it up. And did that person, can you put in the chat?
I think it
I
was
think
10
it's written,
minutes.
somebody had said like 10 minutes.
So I
Is
saw
that,
someone else say 12 too. So
but I guarantee you Tess had more. Tess took over the
mm,
episode. It was Tess's wedding.
10 minutes, 10 minutes, 41 seconds.
Does anybody know how much screen time Tess had?
That's a lot.
I need somebody to add that up,
Get to work.
please.
Yeah, I mean, I just my sister watched this show with me and her husband, God
Mhm,
bless them, and they've never seen my sister. All my sister's friends are lesbians, so she like knows who, like she
mhm,
knows who Bette and Tina are. She's like aware of the, because she sees my social media and stuff too. And the episode started, and Bette and Tina, when they came on, I was like, oh, and these are my favorites, and she's like, oh yeah, yeah. And then about 10 minutes, 15 minutes into the episode, I was starting to panic, and I was like, I'm really worried. And she was like, why? And I said, because it's not very good. And she was like, yeah, I was wondering because she's like, I know you love this show, and like my sister knows that I don't watch like I'm not like watching reality TV or something like that. And she was like, yeah, I kind of had a different impression about the show. And as things went on, she literally said to me, I don't know why it's these people's wedding. And it keeps going back to, and she pointed at Micah and Maribel, and she's like, these people, because these people seem to be in a different show to everyone else.
Mhm.
And then her husband was like, at the end, like trying to cheer me up. He's like, but the vows were really nice. It's like this 6'5" straight guy with a big beard. It's like the lesbian's vows was nice.
A lot of people are really bothered by the drug use. It's so funny.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
But they're saying like throughout the whole season, I think with like the ayahuasca episode, it's funny. That's not something I would have thought like consciously unless I saw it like written everywhere. Like, what's with the obsession with drugs? And it is weird. Like now that it's like pointed out to me, it is weird.
That was one of the things my sister said, and I said, yeah, I said I said this coke guy and the other stuff, this is really weird, like these characters have never been in it before. And I said Roxy's only been in one other episode, and then I went to say they don't really do that on the L Word, and then I was like, well, actually they did a musical episode with ayahuasca, and my sister was like, what the fuck is going on in this show?
Yeah. Oh, well, that's so interesting. Bette stood for mayor on an anti-drug platform. That's an amazing point.
That is a really good point.
Wow. That. Yeah, that's really interesting. To me, what they needed. Well, I want to talk about Angie. So many things could have been fixed in such simple ways. Like, for example, with the professor, why wouldn't you just tie that up last episode? And then she goes off with Bella, and now we're like, okay, we have a glimpse into the future of Angie, right? Now we have no glimpse into the future of Angie. But why would they string that out another episode? Like, what was the point of having Angie go back with him only to have him? Why would he go to the wet? That made no fucking sense.
I know.
And like Bella would have been at the wedding with Angie, and we would have seen it would have just like been more of a heartwarming. Angie was like not even in this episode, which is so weird considering it's her parents getting married. That's their family, and she's like not present.
Yeah,
that's really weird.
I just if I had a top 3 of things that I have disliked this season, that professor thing is up there. Like it just was such a waste too.
I agree. She's demented. Somebody said, because I asked her like, what is this? And the answer was insane. Right. So they could get insurance. You know, it's hilarious. Today I was like, the guy who plays the professor, I was like, why did he need insurance one more week? And then I looked him up. It turns out he's a Broadway actor. I was like, because this is his only television credit. His only television credit. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? And it turns out he was actually in Hamilton on Broadway. So I was like, oh, well, why is he in this? Like, it just made no sense.
Yeah, I just really don't.
And also, Micah and Maribel, why wouldn't you have just tied that up in an earlier episode? And you would have freed up 10 more minutes.
I know. But
instead you cut Shane and Alice scene? What? When you could have tied up those two, the least popular characters on the show. They're operating on an entirely other show. And what's hilarious is Kate and Leisha alluded to this in Pants. They're like, except for that other scene we shooting. It's so clear they hate them. I love it.
I mean, they're just really, really letting it all out now. Like I
love it.
And I mean, obviously anything can happen, and I know a lot of people.
I don't think this show is coming back.
No, I think you can even see it, and I've heard other stuff about like things happening, other projects and stuff. So I don't think any final decision's been made, but I think most people are like seeing it even as the end,
Yeah.
which is sad.
It's sad because the original show, everyone hated the ending,
Yeah,
right? Everyone was like,
absolutely.
"Why would you end the show that way?"
It's fucking
And
awful.
now we had something positive, but they still clouded the positive thing with all of this negativity. So it's really weird. Oh, I had one more thing to say about Angie. What they should, if they only had room for like one scene with Angie, which is so weird to me. Oh, I guess she had that other scene with Shane, which was like nothing. What was missing was a family scene. You needed
Yeah.
Bette, Tina, and Angie, where they actually talk about, what does this mean? Okay, my parents are getting remarried. She's got to have a lot of fears about this. Like, wouldn't she be nervous that like they're just that her whole life has been them breaking up and making up, which is very
Mhm.
chaotic for a kid? Wouldn't she be like concerned, like going to them like, are you sure like you want to do this? And that would have been an opportunity for them to talk about how they've grown. That would have been a lot of heart and soul, and it would have like meant something. But no, let's spend more time with this fucking professor, please.
Yeah. Yeah, I just don't even the whole it's the whole wedding thing, and I keep saying this, but like why bring them back, and like even like the freezer thing, and like the I feel like anytime like a woman is like the only sort of thing they know about like menopause is they're like, oh, they're hot, and it just was this whole ruse to get them into the freezer. And but I don't even know why they couldn't just have something like that, or even them sitting down and being like, we, this is different than the other times, and blah, blah. Anything
Well,
that
that would have happened when they were at the hotel before they go into the free, like that would when they were like getting ready.
yeah.
Instead of that ridiculous instead of that ridiculous dialogue about being hot and like,
Yeah,
what was
waste.
that? Who Why are we talking about hot flashes? Like, what are we doing?
It's just
Like, why wouldn't you use
more
that
waste.
time to talk, to have a family scene with Angie? That's an easy swap. The Mike and Maribel wrapping that up in a previous episode is an easy swap. The freezer was a gimmick to get Tasha there. Yes.
'Cause
But
originally, Tasha, they weren't Kate and Alicia did a talk about this, I think, on Pants too. Tasha wasn't supposed like, when I got told the OGs that were coming back, that I was told Tasha isn't 10. So I all along thought I knew Max was in,
oh, okay.
4, Dana 6, and Tasha 10. So they were originally gonna put the end of 9 was gonna be Alice's face and Tasha saying, "Hi, Alice," and Alice making the face, and then you didn't see that it was
Oh, well,
Tasha, but
thank God they extended that.
yeah, and then there's other Bette and Tina stuff that they cut, and then
Did they film it though?
I don't know whether how much of it was filmed, or whether it was like they
What
shot a
do you know
scene and didn't
what
work.
was the substance of it?
This after like between after they have got engaged on the bench, and then coming like next episode, there was like an in between of like that everybody reacting to the engagement. And
Oh,
then
really?
yeah, this because I was there for 8 and 9. So then this episode with the freezer, like there was way more in the freezer. Like there was a whole hookup scene and everything. And I think when
But
you
I don't think they filmed that.
no, I don't know whether they filmed it or what, but like because when I was told about it, they hadn't even shot well, I think they had shot like 2 days of the finale. They hadn't shot everything yet, so it was just because someone had read the script and told me like, oh, freezer, blah blah blah. So I just if as well, like I don't I don't even know what to say anymore. I'm just like so frustrated that's like the end as well. And I feel as though the few little things that they put in where they were saying like our friends, like I feel like they were trying to be like like talking about the audience, like
Yeah. I mean,
but
sure.
but
Yeah.
it just would have been like better if it was, I mean, more obviously, but actual substance to the conversations. Like, I feel even that thing in the freezer where like Tina wants Bette to like stop being positive and stuff, but it was like that has never been her like her issue. Like it
Right.
has been that, and that just bit was really weird to me. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
And it just felt like so they were trying to shove stuff in, like when Tina's like, "Oh, we talked about it in therapy." It was like, trying to be like,
It
"Oh,
was exposition.
yeah, 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 yeah."
Yeah. Um, oh, somebody asked, what did we think of the cake scene? Are you referring when you say the cake scene, what are they talking about?
Whether OGs say all the things from the original or when Tess goes into the cake.
I want to talk about the first thing I have no thoughts about Tess falling. Tess is an embarrassment. It's an embarrassment that they had somebody like Jamie
Jamie
Clayton,
Clayton,
who
amazing.
does have a lot of talent,
Yeah.
and this is what they're doing with her. It was complete character assassination. Just like embarrassing. And it's strange to me that Jamie Clayton promotes this show as much as she does, quite frankly. And it's also strange to me that Kate Menig talks as much as she does about like how great it is. It's like the two of you, like they don't have chemistry. Like, what are they talking about? Maybe they're friends, but like the characters don't have chemistry, and they never did.
I mean, I do understand like them, that Jamie's awesome. Like she was so great to me, and she just seems like a really nice person and seems to like really bring like a lot of energy and positivity to the set. But I understand her, like, that's their job, and like I don't really like, as well, they can't really say anything, and that's, like it's not like Kate and Leisha have a lot more kind of power in the
Yeah.
sense that they're in this thing 20 years and they know that everybody's got their backs, whereas and I mean, most people love Jamie and feel that way about her too, but she is like
Mm-hmm.
new, and like this is her first year as a series regular, so
Mm-hmm.
they I would love to obviously get there. Really.
I really liked then in that case, I really liked the cake scene when they were talking about things. However, a few things I liked the concept of it, and in as a whole, I liked it. However, the dialogue, the things they mentioned. Okay, I wrote this down. Shane leaving Carmen at the altar. Yes. Alice dating the vampire in season 3 was actually one of like the sexiest things. Like, like I don't know why that would be considered. Like
Yeah.
that's what about the fact that they should have been like when you were stalking
Okay.
Dana.
Not a
Maybe that would have
shrine.
been a good one. And also, Tina did not leave Bette for Carrie.
Yeah, because that's what she established in season 1, episode 6 when
Yeah.
she came back.
Why wouldn't she say, I left you for a man, which is what she actually
Yeah.
did in the original?
Yeah, you
And
said
that
that
would
to
have
me
been a
yesterday.
funny
That was good.
moment to get them all
Yeah.
reacting. And also, Bette mentioning Candace was perfect. Like, I
Who
love that.
literally is in jail.
Like, I love that.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, that's the thing, like, and I feel as though those things that they meant, especially the Carmen and the vampire thing, like people have spoke about that a lot online. So I do feel like that was a point where they were like, oh, they're listening, because so many people are always like, what about the vampire? Like I see those two things all the time.
mhm.
So I
Yeah, she was, yeah, they didn't, she said, what
yeah,
did
she
she
didn't sleep
say?
with Cat. She said I had sex with Candace in jail.
But she didn't.
Yeah,
Did
I mean
she?
that. No, they had that whole wall thing.
What was that wall thing? I don't remember. I have to rewatch that episode.
Yeah, where like one of them was on the bed and the other, well, Bet was like doing it with the wall, really, not Candace.
Pippa,
Holding all
I
these
don't
comments
like
and
that
said
was that
she
felt
fucked the
so
wall.
I what's that?
It's holding all these comments, I'm sure, that say she fucked the wall, but it like the filter catches them, so I have to approve them.
You know, I have to say, in the end, I actually maybe I do like Sophie after all. I just don't like her when they stick her with like romantic storylines. I like when we see her at work. Like she's maybe I like the actress. Like she comes off very like the character is very funny, very smart. I just don't want to see her in a romance. That's where you
Yeah.
lose me. And that's what they saddled her with like
Finley.
Finley and all that shit, which is so boring. Marcia Lewis Ryan cannot write a romantic storyline, period.
Sophie at work
The
is
movie
what
stuff
interests
works, but
me.
like I don't know.
Sophie at work is what interests me about that. Like, I just don't
Yeah.
understand why they don't do more with that, especially when there was like the reaction to like the Sinley, and they were going to break them up anyway. So
Somebody saying, "Why was Pip at the wedding?" Yeah, it felt totally shoehorned in.
that was another social
That's
media
another checking of a
reaction.
box.
Yeah, to social media.
I can't believe they cut half the vows. What? That's the one
They
thing to keep
cut
in.
half the Bette and Tina stuff. there's,
Like,
there's way more.
I mean, Dani was humiliating. Like, she
Oh,
cannot act. She's the worst
yeah.
act. She
No,
is up
I
there in
feel
the
bad.
galaxy.
I feel bad for her. Like that, I think that what she had to do would anybody would have come across as like I don't think there's any way that
Yeah.
can be performed. Like Jennifer Beals probably doing that would look bad. Like
Yeah.
it just was bad. But like again, just take Dani from season two. I mean, I hated the season 2 finale. And maybe I shouldn't use the word hate. I really just like the
Mhm.
season 2 finale. If you take Dani from like episode 9 and 10 last season and
Mhm.
compare it to what's happening this season, night and fucking day. Like
What happened in 9 and 10 last season?
just like the way she was with Gigi and this and like what storyline she was being given was really good, and then this is like
But she was arrested.
yeah, but that's I mean that's at least something going on. Like I'm
Right.
more talking about the Gigi stuff. Like
Oh.
it was
Mhm.
interesting and like people were loving it, and now it's like people are like, what the fuck's going on?
Right. I mean, Shane, like, why was Marja Lewis Ryan saying when I asked, like, where do you see Shane going? She's like, you have to, you're just gonna have to see the finale. What did we see?
I don't understand what like Shane is really a good bit older than us, and she's never heard of open marriages before.
But like, that was a throwaway, like, I can't believe they just like pissed away 3 years of Shane. Season one, she was good. Like, so she had the wife come back, like that was
Yeah,
all
yeah, that was
interesting stuff.
good.
But like, ever since the stuff with Tess came into the picture, it was like a one-way road to hell.
I don't understand why if they didn't have any like it's obvious. I in the beginning thought that because maybe this is the way I would have done this, and this is the way my experience with showrunners and with TV writers, anything I've worked on or interned on or whatever, they all work the same way that like Yellow Jackets works, where it's like I worked on stuff with Buffy, and it's like they go into a season with everything mapped out. Like they know timeline, like what's going on, like these character, and those are 24 episodes, 22 episode seasons.
Mhm.
And a lot of shows like Yellow Jackets, they have 5 seasons worth. Okay, they don't know every nitty gritty detail, but they have the wide overarching ideas. So I would have thought for a pitch like this that you're having not only one of if not the only like lesbian led shows on TV, but one that has these iconic fucking characters that people care about so much, that is your Showtime property, and you're bringing it back,
Mhm.
and you just have like an 8-episode season pitch? Like, I thought they would have had, okay, if we get once, well, they got 2 seasons straight away, so they would have had to do a 2-season pitch. But if we got 3 seasons, this is where ideally we want the characters to be. Most shows will map out for 5 seasons because that's what everybody shoots for when they start a show, is 5 seasons for syndication. And
Mhm.
to I think that like really broke my heart last season when I it became obvious that they didn't have anything planned or mapped out. So I
Mhm.
don't understand why they clearly didn't have anything planned out. Why you would dismiss and not bring back Shane's wife when there was
Mhm.
nothing coming up. Like if they had got rid of the wife after season 1 and they were like, "Oh, cuz we want Shane to go on this journey where she gets married at the end of season 3 and it's
Mhm.
in an open relationship, so she needs to go through this, thing of finding the." But it's they've done, and it's obvious
Nothing.
that like Kate's pitch stuff, but it's not picked up
And Kate
either.
said the number one thing she wouldn't want was for Shane to be
Yeah,
doing the same shit. Shane's doing exactly what she did when she was 24 years old.
that's what she said between the season 1 and season 2 hiatus on Pans.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, the Gigi stuff. I see lots of people asking about that too. I mean, I said from before the season started she would be in 1, 2, and 3, and I know a lot
Yeah,
of
we knew.
people.
Did you guys really think that Seppi was gonna be in this finale? We knew that Seppi was long gone. So
And
obviously it would just be like a mention of her. I wasn't
yeah,
surprised. I wasn't surprised or offended with anything they mentioned about Gigi. What, that she's back with Nat? We knew that. They didn't tell me anything I didn't already know.
the gum thing was stupid though.
That
I didn't
was
like
just
that.
stupid.
Yeah, I
Just like the obsession with Tess, Micah, and Maribel is wild to me. Like what, like Ash, can you make sense of that? Like what could that possibly be?
I don't know. Like it just is the most bizarre thing. Like I know like some people like not really TV people have said this to me, more like authors, that sometimes like characters that are neglected maybe by the audience, like they
Mhm.
feel like an affinity for something, or maybe there's something in those characters that they
I
feel
mean, the
like
only thing I
drawn
could
on.
think of is that those are the trans people. It's like I don't. So then write them better characters. Like give them something meaty.
I I just don't even know like what they are trying, like Micah and Maribel this whole season. w- what has it been? It's the same kind of thing with Sophie and Finley. Like, did they just have them together to like waste time, and then they're gonna have this thing at the end and just break them up anyway? Like, I know sometimes like it's all about the drama and like ups and downs and things, but I just don't like why they've made Maribel such an unlikable character too. Like even again, my sister, like when she broke the uh cryobank sperm thing, my sister was like, "What the hell? Like why would she do that?" Like it's just
Mhm.
I don't know. I really I try like obviously like I spend my life talking about the show. Like I really do try to get invested or
Yeah.
interested, but it's just so, and that probably is, some of that's probably on me because I'm just someone that does not want to have kids, so it's like an extra. But even in season 1 and 2 when that wasn't their storyline,
Mhm.
I really liked Maribel in season 1 when she would like be in a few little episodes here and there, and she was like, so do you know what I mean, like she was Sophie's like kind of sarcastic like funny sister.
Mhm.
I really like that. But ever since the whole introduction of like her and Micah, I just haven't, because then I feel like they give him nothing to do, no storyline or anything, and now the only thing is they're together, but then Maribel's normally like not being nice to him. So then I'm like, what's like, what's the point?
Ridiculous. I want to see. It just sucks because if they had Bette and Tina get married in the finale of the original show, then we would have had like Sybil Shepherd, Holland Taylor, Jane Lynch. Like
Oh
we
yeah.
would have had the thing that we wanted this time around.
Because think about all those people that came back to do those stupid videos. That was a bad idea too. In the season 6
Mhm.
finale, they
It,
would have all
it
been
this
wedding guests.
this show should not have been rebooted. Like it makes me feel like this was such a selfish. The show said nothing. It came back and had nothing to say. And then this season, they removed anything romantic or like what was, do you know what the deal was with like how there was like no, not that I want like weird sex, like I want like good sex, like like the seppy stuff, and like Jennifer Beals always has like good sex scenes.
This is going to be one of my questions if I get to talk to anyone tomorrow, which but
Yes,
probably no.
please.
But I do like, even if there could be some genuine answer like, oh, the network asked us to turn it down or something, like
There's gotta be.
there
You think
has
the
to
network would ask
be.
them to turn it up because that at least then there's
Yeah.
something.
I'm not, I mean, like, this probably sounds really pathetic and lesbian, but like I'm not really someone who's like really, I'd rather the OGs have friend scenes and talk about that. Like that to me is what I love about the show. But like, I'm not gonna lie, like they're all hot people, but I I at first I didn't really notice because we got that Bette and Tina one in season 2, but in episode 2, and I think it was around like episode 4 or 5. Somebody said it to me and they're like, "Where is all the sex scenes?" And I was like, "That
Mhm.
is a really good point. I have not seen any." I mean, there's literally been flashes of them. That's it.
Yeah.
I
It
know.
felt like it felt so many people have asked me what was running through my mind interviewing Marja. I mean, you got to understand it's well, no, I did feel a difference. I've never watched an interview back and thought like I was look like my demeanor was very different in that interview than I've ever done before, and I think it's because I knew that I was going in with a lot of I knew that I was going to be putting her in an uncomfortable position, and so I think I felt, how do I get my job? I'm self-conscious about getting my job done while keeping her engaged enough to not shut the computer. So like that's what really that was about. Like if you watch any of my other interviews, you see I'm very I have a much looser demeanor. I noticed that I like barely smiled at all in that. I don't know why I was so serious. I think I was just nervous because I was being so hard on her, which normally that's not my shtick at in it. I only interview people who I like love.
That
Were you
that's
asked to talk about certain things? Not at all. No. There were
um
I've never had restrictions on anything I've ever done.
no, and people have asked me that too about Marja. I mean, that's, and I will say this, and people can say whatever they want, but M- Marja doesn't deserve to be like absolutely destroyed because we don't like, decisions that are made. There is things that I like too, but I just think that people paint her with one brush, and you know th- it's
I would look above, yeah, like folks, I would look to the top, and
yeah,
Marcia's not the top.
she's a
There's something
new
going on
showrunner.
above her.
She's a new showrunner, and also anytime that I've said this many times, like when I had a teeny channel, like I had like 2,000 subscribers, she let me interview her, no restrictions whatsoever, and despite some people thinking that, whatever they want to think. She invited me to set and again let me interview her, showed me around the
That's
set, has
amazing. People don't do
always
that. Like
nobody does
that's
that.
very impressive to me.
Nobody does that. So I I don't I just don't like seeing anybody be absolutely like attacked and stuff. Like people of course give your opinions on the show and things like that, but I mean some things that people say, like it's not nice. And she's always been really 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 nice to me, and no matter what really,
Mhm.
if you look back, the original show, people said the same things about Eileen. So
We talked a lot about this. I interviewed, or it was like an interview slash like hang with Ash and Chris from the L Word Online and Drinks at Dana's. We did an episode for my podcast. It's also on my YouTube channel. You can watch it after this. And
go
we talk a
watch.
lot. It's all behind the scenes stuff. So it's a lot of what Ash is talking about. Um, because they don't have the creative freedom that they lead you to believe they have.
No. If
Like,
Showtime says we're doing this, that's it. That's the decision made.
yeah. Like we talk about how in the original series, Dana's death, that was entirely Showtime. It was about budget. Showtime was swinging its dick around. The president of Showtime. Yes, Eileen has strong ties to Showtime. Yes, she needs to. Eileen knows what butters her bread, so like they're always going to do what Showtime
But
asks.
but
They just want to get paid above everything.
yeah, and in the beginning, Eileen didn't have in the beginning, one seasons 1 and 2 were very, very tightly under Showtime's control. It wasn't until season 3 when the show was the number 1 show on the network, then they were like, "Okay, you know what you're doing, go for it." And then obviously season 3 came out, people were pissed, but the season 3, even though they gave her free reign, they said you need to get rid of one of your cast members, and she had to. So they do always have the ultimate veto, the ultimate power. It's their money that makes the show, it's their network that airs it, and they want their decisions. Because as well, like, okay, it's a Showtime show, but when it's being put out into all these other countries, like they're having to pitch the show to be able to sell it to people like Sky and Stan and all these other companies.
Hey, I'll
So
be right
that,
back. Hold on one second.
oh, no worries. So yeah, no, I just wanted to say that as well. Like obviously this isn't specifically towards Marsha, but there are people who work on the show that really, really, really love it and are fans of the show too. So I just that's why we'll never get personal about that stuff either, because I don't think I don't think it's necessary. Like I think I can critique the show without getting into all that sort of thing.
Do you think? I don't think Laurel wrote the vows for Tina.
I don't know. Let me do a poll. I don't know actually, because
I
it
don't.
was
People are going to say yes because they have this fantasy in their minds.
true,
She's
true,
not.
true
She's
that.
not. I don't think
I mean,
she's not as invested.
but also why I mean, Jennifer Beals writes it because she has obviously like asked, or that's what it seemed like anyway, and she submits like a draft, but
Mhm,
Jennifer's an executive producer and she's
mhm.
lead credit, whereas Laurel's a guest star, like, and
Yeah.
she's turning up and filming, like,
Yeah.
especially Jennifer Beals is,
The handwriting wasn't hers. Oh, and
oh,
Laurel's. That was not her handwriting? Was that even their handwriting?
It's definitely
Does anybody know
Jennifer's.
them?
It's definitely Jennifer's handwriting.
Oh, it
Um,
is?
yeah, I bet Jennifer wrote. I mean, who? That's the thing. Like, they could have written. Did Tina have it in her? Because Bette memorized it, so it wasn't in Bette's hand. But I think Tina read it off a piece of paper. So
Oh,
that
really?
was probably props or someone just wrote it out like that, and then she had
Oh,
it probably because a lot of the times people will take stuff like that from set. It's like a memory.
okay.
Everybody raids. I mean, even Kate talked about it the other day. Everybody raids shows whenever they think it's gonna end.
That was interesting about them taking stuff from set. That made me think they knew that it was over.
I mean, people do take stuff at the end of the season anyway,
Oh.
but the the kind of thing Kate was saying made me think it was the end of the show because when they like they have that set in Culver City and they have to pack it down,
Mhm.
literally like shows that I've worked on, everything is fucking cataloged and in boxes.
Yeah.
Like the Friends, all of those shows, absolutely pristine down to the smallest item.
What did you do for Buffy?
I did stuff with their like basically convention stuff, and then I like interned for a little bit on there too, but it was a lot in the UK. So when people used to come over, I would do like PA work
Oh,
for
wow.
like be like their not handler, but like when they would go to cons, I'd be like their it wasn't like an agent, but we were with them all the time and like, get them through signings and blah. I did
Mhm.
like David Boreanaz and pretty much like everyone from Buffy except Alison Hannigan and Sarah Michelle Gellar. I have met both of them once, but pretty much everybody else I've worked with them before.
So what else was on your pro list? Not about scenes, not about specific like things you like more like abstract.
Oh, I love the Alice and Shane pushing each other in
I
the
love that.
the
I
first.
love that.
That was really good.
Yeah. I thought that the OGs were I like that they had more group scenes this episode, and I liked that they were funny. Like they were great. But it's just the fact that it kept like then we to shift back to fucking Tess, like shit that's like irrelevant.
Oh yeah,
It
yeah,
would have been great if it had just been them, the OGs, and
yeah.
give the other people, you can have like Finley. Like, why did Finley only have the 3 minutes of screen time? Like, that's exactly how much I want to see Finley. I want to see her 3 minutes an episode. And like, why couldn't they just give the other people like 3 minutes? Okay, we're there, we've checked the box, they can get paid for the episode, but we can actually keep the focus. But instead to spend like 15 minutes with Pippa and Sophie. Are you fucking kidding me?
I but I don't understand like what if they were going like they have had the past 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 episodes to just tie up these storylines and do all this thing with Dre and blah 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 blah. Why could you not just have the people be in this episode that makes sense? Like I understand have Dani there. That makes sense. Bette probably would have invited her, even though I don't think 3/4 of the people that were out there should have been invited. But
Well, they weren't like Tess. It made sense to me that Tess,
yeah, yeah,
Finley were there as like helping with shit. They weren't actual guests. It was weird that Sophie was a
he
guest,
was
but
there.
okay, fine.
But
We'll
that's
stretch our imaginations there.
every have Dani there, Tess and Finley working there fine. But if Sophie and Mike just not have them in this episode, like Bette and Tina weren't in the past like 5 episodes. So do you know what I mean? Like what they've missed episodes before. Other Shane and Alice missed an episode this season. What's the big deal if they miss one episode?
Why did they have Finley just as a referee? She has the worst fucking style.
That was
She
her
like literally like
dream job last season.
what?
referee was her dream job last season. Excuse me, it is Buffy and Angel forever, and you know who will take my side on this? Jennifer Beals, because
Oh, this is so interesting. Super Vixen says, I was living in Vancouver when they filmed the original series, and I used to see Kate, Rachel,
that's so
Alicia, Mia, and the
cool.
actress who played Laura Perkins lived around the corner. Oh, that's so
That's
cool.
so
That's
cool.
great. I love that.
Oh yeah, I'd love to see the storyboards for
Oh,
the.
okay, somebody's really getting the heart of the matter here. Jess, how did you like JB's hair? It was fine.
Do you know how many people have messaged me like, "How's Jess feeling about that?"
I will say I hated her hair in episode 9. You can't, if you straighten it, you're completely lost me. But it was fine. It even looked nice when it was pulled back because you could see it was curled, and then when it was down, it was like she just looked like that. It was fine. Listen, it wasn't as good as it has been in the past, but it was fine.
Yeah, Laurel was an angel.
I hated Laurel Holman's hair in this episode, I have to say.
Oh, God.
That person's so proud of their work that they put it on fucking Twitter. That's like the worst. I hated it. How did I like Tasha? Love Tasha.
Oh yeah, I
Love
love
Tasha.
Tasha.
No
Love Tasha.
notes. No notes.
If they come
an
back,
hour of it,
if they come back for season 4,
which they're not.
they which
And
they
Rose
will, but
Rollins
they
is
better
never
have
gonna
her
come
in
back
it.
to the show. I've got news for you.
Yeah.
So Alice and Tasha will be over. If you get the show renewed, anything you like will be undone. So just know that.
But I wish that they would have done this like fucking at the beginning of the season, and then they could have had Rose come in when Jennifer and Laura weren't there. Like
Yeah, that would have
Alice
been
was
nice.
by herself the whole season for no reason.
But no, we had to get Joey Lauren Adams and just piss away 3 episodes with her. The first episode was good with Joey Lauren Adams, but that Halloween episode was unforgivable. It just made no fucking sense.
Yeah, I get it if she's
That, by
gonna
the
be
way,
like
that was when Marcia
season.
snapped at me. I had to cut that out. I had to edit around it. She lost it when I brought up for some reason that was the hill she was ready to die on, was Joey Lauren.
Jess is giving you all behind the scenes scoop here.
I know people have said like what with the editing, you got to understand people repeat themselves. You don't hear that in a podcast, but like on a video, you have people. She talked about fucking. They talk, sometimes they talk in circles and they'll repeat the same thing 4 times when they just said it the one time. So you're hearing it 1 time instead of 4. That's what edits are.
Oh, if you saw the before edit of anything,
yeah,
you'd be like, what the fuck?
Oh wait, I showed you like the raw edit, right? The just from the video, right?
I enjoyed the raw edit. I when it's you talking to people, Jess, I'm like, yes, more. I want all the repeating.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Jess had it on like we are now, where it's like double screen.
Well, yeah, it's just the Zoom, the Zoom thing. Show us the raw edit. No, I can't do that. I mean, it's fine. It's just she's like coming after me a little bit.
What stupid wife? What if Jess and I start our own scripted series? I'll get some money from my government because they're always giving out free money for projects like that.
Do I think Marcia was on something? No. She was drinking a lot of coffee. She probably was caffeinated. But guys, can I just be very honest with everybody? Marcia was a much better guest than Eileen was. Like Marcia like could talk. Like Marcia's a human being who can like talk and pontificate and like she's chatty. Like that's what as an interviewer you want, somebody who's really chatty. And she was, whereas Eileen would just like, she would answer the question and then it would dead end it. And so I had to like that was a lot of editing to. I'm sorry, my screen keeps freezing. I can't help the Wi-Fi here. I can't. This is one thing I can't control. I'm in an Airbnb. I'm sorry. It keeps
Sorry, our
freezing.
powers do not extend.
Guys, I've done everything I can.
This is free, isn't it?
Jesus Christ. Wait, what are you talking about? What are they talking about? A Showtime finale poll?
Showtime.
What are they talking
Oh,
about?
maybe they do a lot of polls on Instagram. Did they put a poll on Instagram, guys? Because polls are a good way to get interaction. That's why they do a lot of them. Let me see. Show. Oh, sugar.
Does Jess have a Patreon? No, I have a podcast.
Make a Patreon for the unedited versions.
Patreon for what? No, I got no time for Patreon. You get my shit for free.
I have a Patreon where I can go and watch. It's not my personal problem.
What?
I have my Patreon where I can go.
No, I got no time. I got a full-time job. I can't do that.
I don't see a poll on. It seems like they've taken everything down. Did you see this? Oh my god. Their the thing they put on Instagram.
Yes, that was so weird.
Besties of the family, and it's Dani, Sophie, Dre, and Maribel. I don't think
Tina had never met them.
Any of them, apart from Dani. Which is just peculiar.
So here, Ash, somebody's asking you if this is the last live, which I don't.
No. I'm sure there's a lot of people that are new to the channel, but I have done Monday lives for over 2 years. And even when the show's not on, I still do them. I mean, obviously they're different, but I talk about other shows. I cover other shows when the L Word's not on. But I will start to. I mean, Yellow Jackets is back in March, and there's Grays and Station 19 and other stuff that I'll cover. But now I will be splitting my time between this channel and my channel Coffee and Cults, which is about like fraud and scams and stuff like that. So I really hope that some of you stick around. But
Dracula's daughter, we talked all about the Pam Grier tweet. That was the first thing we talked about.
They might be behind.
Like saying, "What's your thoughts?" You have to rewatch. We went over it already.
Yeah, they might be behind.
Yeah.
Also, I have all my videos finally from Showtime from when I went to set. So
oh my god, are you gonna post those? Like, what's your plan for those?
Once I get home, I've watched them all now.
Are they good?
I'm gonna like some of them are really good, and I think people will be interested because like they literally we went around the Alice set and like all the things that are on the wall, like stuff you would never see, like we're like, oh, this is like Sophie's film that she made and stuff like that. It's really and like cool pictures, and then there's more stuff with like just other people and like some of the crew and the pickleball set and stuff. So I'm gonna put those up, and then also so between when I get back I'll have the video from like tomorrow and this trip and then the ones from set. So I would say like within the next few weeks, 2-3 weeks, I'll have everything out, and then what I really want to do is I want to do a podcast from watching the beginning of the L Word. But
yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah.
Like a rewatch?
Yeah.
A podcast or like a video? What do you mean by like audio only?
See, if I did it, I would probably do or I would probably do like a video version, but put an audio version out as well.
Mhm.
But just
Oh, so
film it like
drinks
this.
with drinks at Dane. Would
Chris and Jess hate the original though. They won't do
Oh,
it. You have to do it.
oh God. I read oh God.
I'll do the editing.
Uh, uh,
Or I'll do the first edit. You can do the second edit. So you can have final approval.
oh my God. But the thing is that they already had to Ellen back. Like, what are we really gonna say that? Although they fucking sucked at recapping, I gotta be honest. They spent so much time with their
But I
guests.
don't like recapping. I want to talk shit. I want
Like
to talk
what?
shit.
Like you want to hear me like rate Bette's hair in every scene? I'd be happy.
Yes, there will be a section for that.
Okay. I can't review. All right.
Specific section at the end. You have to listen to the end.
You know where
one of my rating of the week.
I will say. By the way, somebody asked in here, Angel, is Jess a Tibette fan or not? Of course.
Oh my God, yeah.
Of course, yes.
That's how we became friends.
Yeah. No. Yes. Like guys, I've been watching this show since day one. Like they were my favorites from like the jump. Yeah, somebody's so funny. If they don't renew, what will happen to y'all? We're gonna burst into flames. And just like
cease existing.
Our Instagrams will be defunct. There'll be no trace of us.
We'll be on the streets.
Shit, what was I gonna say?
Your podcast? Gonna podcast with me?
No,
with your hair moment.
Oh yeah, no, okay. One of my favorite Bette hair scenes is when she gets into the car accident and is season 2, her hair was phenomenal because they never straightened it. Oh no, when she went to New York and hooked up with the chick.
Oh, twink.
That was her one bad hair episode.
Oh, God.
And then it was touch and go in season 4 with
touch and go.
When she cut it too short, we had to deal. But it grew out. It eventually grew out. I could do truly, I could talk for hours about this. This is a topic I can sink my teeth into. Do we think there'll be a season 4? No. Can you review both the videos? What videos? Oh yeah, this is interesting. Did they cut I don't think there was an engagement party. Like
there was something at Dana's with their.
No, I think they just used the Dana's set for some stuff that we were led to believe was filmed in Malibu.
Then there was more to the reception than we saw with like when they were dancing. There was like because the table things were all there. I'm telling you, there is a lot of stuff that was cut just from this episode and from this season because there's other stuff that I didn't talk about but was told to me, so I know that there's.
Oh, Cheryl is asking, do you have any cast or directors? So I have one more. I mean, I kind of blew my load on L Word content these past couple of weeks, to be honest with you. But I have one more. I mean, listen, I always, if you dig back in my archives, the L Word is a thread that I always pull on with relevant people. So you'll see that that's like a continuous kind of, in the past, it's been a bit, but now it's actually the show. But I interviewed Jamie Babbitt, who is amazing. Like she's one of the most like talented. I've loved her. She wrote and directed, but I'm a cheerleader. She's directed like every TV show. She directed the pilot of League of Their Own. She's in the EP on the League of Their Own, and she directed 3 episodes of The L Word. So obviously, we talk about that. I've thought about interviewing Rose Trochet, but I wonder how much she would say. But also, I feel like I'm getting too in the weeds with the L Word. It's like now I have an L Word podcast. Even this past like there were remember when I wasn't going to release the Marja interview? I was just going to do it on you. I'm like, I feel like I'm really.
You can thank me later, everyone.
Well, no, at first I wasn't even going to interview her. I went on such a journey with her.
You can thank me later, everyone.
Remember, it was like, fuck this bitch.
You gotta do it. You gotta do it. For me.
Oh my God.
And then when you said you were friends with me and they're like, oh shit, we should have known this before. We said yes.
Is Reese really gonna go on pants?
Yeah, that's what that I actually I told you Reese and I have been chit
Yeah.
chatting a little bit,
I
and
wonder what the premise is gonna be for that pants episode because
yeah,
Kate and Leisha can't be like, let's make fun of the show for. I mean, I don't know.
yeah. I guess maybe they'll say like some like, oh, we want to talk about like these storylines or the how people felt about this or that.
Because now
Like,
the reason why I'm like iffy, I'm dying to see if that actually comes to fruition because you got now you have three people who are afraid to talk.
yeah, yeah.
If
That's
you
the
know what
thing.
I'm saying.
You need, well,
You need somebody who's fucking
nothing to lose.
fearless, who has nothing to lose.
That's a job for us, Jess. I don't know whether. Oh, she's moving now.
Jess, can you get an interview with Jennifer Beals and Laurel Hallman? Well, I have interviewed them in the past. Jennifer Beals is a really bad interview. So, I mean, if she showed up at my door, I would let her in, but
Yes, Jesus.
it's not going to be what you want to. Go read my interview with her on Autostraddle from like a decade ago. You can Google it. And I interviewed Laurel as well. Laurel is a great interview.
She's really nice. Jennifer's like one of the Jennifer and Seppi and Ari are like the only three that I haven't met. But Laurel was just amazing to me when I met her. She was so nice.
Yeah, she's like a like she's fun. Again like
Yeah.
chatty, will like wants to we talked a lot about because this was at the time it was relevant at the time, like The Kids Are All Right had just come out. We talked about that. She was good.
I mean, she told me I was famous, so that kind of was over for me then.
An interview with Seppi. Well,
They all have
Yeah, you got
non-disclosure agreements
that's
too,
the
guys.
thing. Ash talked a lot about this again in my episode with her. She talked a lot how they're still getting paid out for these episodes and they've signed NDAs. So this is the type of thing 3 years from now is when you want the Seppi interview. You don't want it now. You want it 3 years from now
Because
when they can just talk.
Showtime doesn't so most of, as I've told you guys, like I have a couple of people that are really good sources for me. I love using that word. It makes me feel professional, even though I'm not. And so normally I get like bits of information from lots of people and compile it into videos. But this year, someone that I have got on with very well and was always super nice to, and I never ask people for information, like it's only what they willingly give. But there was two people who they left the show, and it was like day and night, like, the day before they were
Yep.
still employed and paid by the show, and they were like, oh yeah, we're gonna film something in Malibu and next week. And the day they left the show, they were literally like, guess what, Ash, my NDA is done now, so blah blah blah. And that's when
Yeah.
they told me absolutely everything about Jennifer, Seppi, Bette and Tina wedding, freezer seat, all that stuff.
Mhm.
So yeah, that in like 3, well, maybe even like 2 years is when you wanna, because they probably will have, most shows like this will have like a +1 year, like not for crew or not for like people who work for Showtime, but for
Mhm.
cast, it'll be like +1 from the last event that you had so probably tomorrow's watch party will be it for a lot of people, +1 year.
Yeah. I'm looking the people.
Oh, I'm gonna have to move the old positions because my computer's about to die and this plug socket is not working.
Yeah, isn't it interesting how Mia Kirshner hadn't, like, I don't know that I've ever seen an interview with Mia Kirshner. I would love to. I don't know that I need to interview Mia Kirshner, but I'd love for somebody to do that.
You know what's really weird? I follow this YouTuber. She's quite big. She's got like 1 million subs. Jenny Nicholson. She makes these really amazing long videos. She's really good. She did this video where she basically like went through the Vampire Diaries, and her analysis is just top tier. It's so good. It's videos are very simple because they're so long, and Mia Kirshner was in the Vampire Diaries, and
Oh,
she like talks about how Mia's performance was like terrible, and loads of people talk about how it's terrible. And then she'd obviously looked Mia up, and she said, "Oh yeah, it was weird because this actress was in the L Word, and everybody talks about how good she was. So maybe it was just like a character, or like a writing thing." But that's the only time I've ever seen her in,
wow.
apart from the Black Dahlia. I went to go see that when it came out because that's when I was in my original L Word phase when I was really
Right.
into so.
Yeah, guys, I've tried to get interviews with Kate and Leisha, and they won't
We've all tried.
they won't do it unless it's like a, they did an interview with the Daily Beast. They're only doing stuff that's like
We
they're
ask
not going
all
on
the time.
podcasts. They just don't.
Yeah, we ask all the time.
Yeah. Um Wait, that's so interesting. Somebody's saying Jennifer Beals is rigid in real life. Her laugh is forced.
Moving with me.
Interesting.
Moving with me. I don't want this to fall on me. Ah!
Oh, somebody's saying Mia did an episode of Pants. Oh, then I'd
Oh yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
never heard that then. I need to listen
really?
to that. I definitely need to hear that.
Yeah. All the interviews with the cast, like
Are they all good?
they're all good. Yeah, they're all good. Definitely listen to those.
Oh, somebody's Dracula's Daughter, Who's My Dream interview. It was I
Olivia Turner.
That's hilarious. My dream interview was I interviewed Rosie maybe that was a year and a half ago. This was before she started doing a lot of like podcasts and stuff. And like I did a whole deep dive on her talk show with her, and like that was phenomenal. I'd say like Rosie was my dream interview, and also Sandra Bernhard.
Oh, that's
And
good.
yeah, because Sandra Bernhard is like so influential for me. And I eventually got Sandra after trying for a while, about a year ago, and it was amazing. It's amazing.
Oh.
Like she talked about Madonna, like she went there with me.
Oh Lord. I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
Yeah, guys, last
season as a whole, how would
Oh,
you
yeah,
how would
are
you
you gonna do a wrap-up episode of Drinks with Dana's, like where you rate?
Oh yeah. Well, we're filming right after this live. We're gonna obviously do the finale, and then I have the interview with Em and Jill coming out, and then we will do like a wrap up. I also will do a video on like season 3 as a whole and just like thoughts
Yeah.
and
I think it's just interesting to compare compare season 1
that's
versus
what I was just
season
gonna
2
ask you. I was just
versus
gonna
season 3.
say,
I think that's
how do you
interesting.
rank
I could
it?
never review this season as a whole. Like I wouldn't even want to talk about it, only in correlation to previous seasons.
Sonia, how would you? Sonia just wrote, "Ash is taking us all to bed." How would you rank the 3 seasons?
Season 2, season 1, season 3.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah. How would you? So somebody wrote season 1 was terrible. Well, not as bad as this season.
Yeah.
How would you rank them?
They'd be so different. I mean, I have to try and take like my feelings out of it too, because like season 1, I started my channel at episode 6, so I still had like some little time of like normalcy. Not normalcy, but you know what I mean. Season 2, yeah, I think season 2 would be pretty up there for me too, just because there was good, like we did have Bette and Tina both there, the Dani and Gigi stuff. Like I feel everyone was in every episode. There
Oh,
wasn't
somebody's saying season 6 was worse than this. Wow, that is a great. Okay, so there's a question in here. What was better?
poll,
Season 6 of the original or season 3 of this?
poll. Okay, we're putting a poll up.
This is cool. They're asking or these are ideas for like a future Dana's episode. What favorite scenes, like a favorite scene from season 1, season 2, season 3. These are good concepts for
I normally do
talking.
a top 5 or top 10 scenes of the season. So I because for like the next month, I always do stuff like this. Like I really take like a deep look at the season and what I liked, what I thought worked, didn't. Obviously, it's based on like my opinion. It's there's not like going out and asking the community, but it's just my personal opinion. Season 6. OG.
Wait, guys, don't give your answer yet. She's putting
Oh,
up.
I'm gonna put the poll and then we'll wait a few seconds and then discuss.
Jess, did you like the musical episode? It was weird. I mean, listen, it was better than the Halloween episode, the Thanksgiving episode, and whatever happened. What happened? Oh, there was one other fucking annoying episode.
Which one did you mention?
The musical was better than the Halloween and Thanksgiving episodes were horrendous. But then there was another episode that was also really bad that I've completely. I think it was the one where Alice was in the movie theater, but I don't remember what else happened in that episode.
Is that 7? I think that was 7.
Yeah. I don't remember what happened. Jess, who's your favorite OG character? Bette.
Why are you?
Yes, have I ever watched the
sad?
2011 reunion interview? Like 100 times, yes. Am I still like freezing for people? It's gonna be annoying.
The picture's better now, but still quite flicky.
Shall we?
It'll be better when I'm back in New
York.
Believe me, I used to have that problem a lot.
Jess, why was Jennifer a difficult interview? The same reason the same reason Eileen in a way was a difficult interview. I just sometimes like as an interviewer, when you feel like you're working your ass off in the middle, like Marcia was a pleasure to interview because she fucking talked. It was a conversation. When something is just very one way, like me asking a question and then they just answer it.
Like pulling teeth.
Yeah, well, they just give a short answer with like no exposition or nothing that's like opening a door for like where I clearly can't ask any kind of follow-up. It's hard. I don't, to be honest, the Jennifer, I don't even remember. It was so long ago and it was over the phone. So like there was a there was a real lack of, this was before it was over the phone because it was for Autostraddle. So, although I would give anything to have the recording of that. I had it and I like obviously just got rid of it. I know. All those interviews.
You didn't know you're going to be a future star in the L Word universe.
I know. Piper's looking at me like, I can't.
Oh, where is she?
Talking about.
She's like, this woman is talking about the fucking L Word again.
Piper's favorite character is Alice.
Oh, I love Piper so much. Miss G is at home right now and by herself, and she's just like, God, thank God she's not in here talking about that bloody show again, getting me up at 4 a.m.
Can you put a link for that Autostraddle interview? Google Autostraddle Jennifer Beals interview. It's very easy. It's from like 2010. And the same thing, Autostraddle Laurel Holloman interview. And you'll see my name. That's the interview.
It's not confirmed that there's no season 4. It's just most likely that there won't be.
Yeah, actually, Jennifer Beals was great on pants because she fucking knows them. She's not good with a stranger. If I were Jennifer Beals, I wouldn't want to talk to me either. So.
You got to think how long they've been, how many interviews they must have done over all that
Release
time.
my Rosie interview on YouTube. It is on YouTube.
Oh, hugs to Miss G. Yeah, Miss G. Miss G is at home being minded by one of my friends. I miss her already. Oh, my sister got a golden retriever puppy.
Oh my God.
Oh
wait, I think you showed me a picture.
Sweetest little face. This is her cat. It's a chunky girl, Penelope, and she was very pissed off at me when I had to use her chair to film in on Thursday, on Friday, Thursday night, and she was not impressed with me. Yeah, here.
Cheryl, Cheryl, it's there. Aww. Why was there snow on the ground?
We went to see the snow yesterday.
But where?
In Oregon.
In Portland?
About 45 minutes north.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then this is my sister and her husband after watching the L Word.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Yeah, I'm thinking about getting a friend for Miss G. I think I have
you need a dog.
Places. I know, I do. This is the first time in my life I've never not had a dog. I've always had a dog. Mostly always had Pipers, but I yeah, I've been thinking about it because now that I work from home, it's easy. Not easy, but like easier than going into an office and stuff. So I think I told you this. I have to move out of where I live.
Oh yeah. When is that?
Well, my lease is up in June, but I think I'm just gonna go now because I hate having stuff hanging over my head, and then I don't also know what's gonna be available in June. So I think I'm just gonna a couple of people I know, because the other man is like super rich. We have no unemployment, no tax, anything. So people have like multiple properties. So I've had some friends already contact me and say like, oh, one of my houses is for rent or something.
Wow.
So it's better because the weird thing about the UK is it's very difficult to rent if you have pets, whereas in the States you just pay a pet deposit.
Yes.
So it's better for me to rent privately because then I can like talk them into, because I can talk anyone into anything. But also like cat that lies on a blanket 23 hours a day. I mean, come on, like.
Are we gonna meet up Sunday? I'm in New Orleans. I'm not in LA.
Yeah. Oh my God. I'd be if Jess was in LA or I was in New Orleans, we would do this in
Oh, that's so
person.
funny. Somebody is off topic. Best real world season. Okay, so this is my wheelhouse. New Orleans, New Orleans and Boston with Genesis. Those are my all-time two favorite seasons.
Oh.
Were you a real world fan?
No, I never got into it.
Oh my god. Well, I mean, it's old now. It's
I remember hearing about it because of She's All That.
that's funny. Oh god.
The what? Oh, the watch party tomorrow. I even got I got little clip-on mics to take into the bar because I have this mic on my camera and it picks up a lot. So I got these little clip-on ones and I'm gonna video like everything. So
Awesome.
I
Do you
will
know
put it up.
do you know who from the cast is going?
I know some. I don't know for sure everyone, but I know a lot of the crew and stuff that are going to, like, pretty much everyone is going as far as I know. Um, so it's and Showtime also told me that there is something like extra happening. So
I bet you that fucking Dre is gonna perform. Mark my words.
if they are, I'm gonna send you a video, like just me standing in the middle, like. But yeah. We shall see, we shall see. But they open normally the semi-tropic opens at 2 and then they close and reopen at 5 for the party. But tomorrow they're just being closed until 4 and then they're opening for the thing. So I'm gonna go get brunch in the morning with some people and then we're gonna go
That's
over there
great.
and have like a coffee at like
Fun.
2:30 and just like meet up and hang out so we're all together so that we can then get in line together. So if anybody wants to join, go to my Discord and we have a link or chat in there that is the LA watch party or something. And I'm gonna put like all the information in there and stuff because I don't know what any of you look like. Well, you know what I look like. So just if you see me, just come up to me and say, "Hey." And then everybody is welcome. Anybody who wants to say hi, come say hi. Anybody who wants to hang out, be in our group, you know. And I will do my best to get us.
This person's making me laugh. Jennifer Beals needs I don't know why I'm finding this so funny. It's because I'm very tired. This person wrote, Jennifer Beals needs to scream fuck for a goodbye.
That's Beth.
I don't know why I'm having this reaction to that, but it's really, I've enjoyed it.
Oh, that's nice.
Guys, I just want to say, like, I've so enjoyed, I mean, and also like Ash, thank you so much for like inviting me on these live. Like,
of course,
you know, I never had like such an interactive. I mean, I'm usually like a hero to like the Madonna gays out there. Like, my wheelhouse is really like gay men, like lesbians, like don't know I exist until like working with you.
And now look at you, Jess.
I know. I was really just a hero to the gay boys.
They want to know your take on Bette's hair that week.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
and also the gay boys are coming out of the woodwork talking about the L word. I've got gay guys in my DMs. Like my usual, they're like, I love the L word. Like, I'm like, oh my God. Gay guys watch this show. They're up in my DMs.
oh my God.
My Madonna gays.
No, I mean, like, obviously, I I love doing this. Like, it's my favorite thing in the world. I absolutely adore it. I just love it, and it's honestly one of the best things about season 3 has us that us be oh, has been us becoming friends, and just our voice
Yes.
notes, our lives, all of it. I love
Yeah.
it.
I mean,
And
it's just
everybody
like
loves you.
I never yeah, I feel like so connected to this yeah, it's just I never could have anticipated.
I know I still remember what I was doing when I saw your little messages on Instagram and
Because I had seen the first 2 episodes.
you're like, this bitch knows something.
This bitch knows something.
And then the rest is history, and now we voice note each other every single day.
Yes. I know people are saying my channel. Do I have a channel?
Yes, ma'am, you do. That's why you post your YouTube videos.
Oh, okay. I guess I don't think of it in those terms.
Yeah.
Because I'm not like creating stuff for that. Yeah. So my channel name is, I guess it's just my name.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you just put in like a hot take, yeah, just my name or like hot takes and deep dives, like it'll pop up.
Yeah, hot takes and deep dives definitely pops up because it fills it in for you like hot
Oh,
takes
okay,
and deep
good.
dive podcast. Yeah, that's how I
Yes.
looked it up first.
Did I ever say what I do full time? Oh, I work in tech. I'm like a design strategist. That's my full time
Ooh.
gig. But the podcast does take a lot of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just two tech lesbians killing it with the side hustles.
Yes.
But this is not of course the end. There's going to be more and things will evolve and continue in other ways, but it's certainly not the end. And in 10 years when Jess and I have our own show, watch out then.
I'd be a very good producer.
Yeah, watch out then, bitches. It's over for you.
These people are funny.
Jess will have her own hair.
Yeah,
Hair,
I'm gonna
like it
be
or not.
I'm gonna be like Shane for wax.
Yeah.
Wait, you know what's hilarious? Ugh, you know what? I can't even get into this fucking story. Forget it. I can't.
Carrie Jaffe, that's another one. That's another thing they cut.
Yeah,
It was
but did she ever film?
but it was on deadline. I mean, like things don't
Can
go
you
on
can you
deadline.
ask your contact if
Yeah.
Rosanna Arquette actually filmed?
Yeah, I'll ask
Because it
them.
may have just been scrapped.
Ask them tomorrow.
All right, guys, I gotta go to bed. Good night.
I'm gonna record drinks at Dana's now. I'm
Oh my
thoroughly
God.
ready to go. And then tomorrow was gonna be the season finale watch party with a lot of questions from me. For the I'm gonna ask questions to the crowd too with my clip-on mics.
Oh, that's so funny. Is there a watch party in New Orleans? No, in New Orleans. No, I'm just here because I'm here for 6 weeks. Oh, this is interesting. Wait, somebody just said something interesting. You need a Jenna Lyons podcast. Okay. Whoever wrote that, are you a Real Housewives of New York fan? I feel like you are, Nicole D. Jenna Lyons used to she ran J. Crew for 25 years. And then she came out at like age like 41. She was like a late in life lesbian. And she was cast on the new cast of Real Housewives of New York. I probably will interview Jenna Lyons at some point. Yes. I'm very interested in her. All right, guys. Somebody's these people. Okay.
Okay, loves. Thanks so much for coming. You're all the best.
Thank you, guys. This was fun.
We'll of course be back. Don't worry about that. After obviously like I'm away this week, but once I get back, I'll start publishing the videos and then I'll put out like a new sort of like live and video schedule. But I will start doing things in my other channel too, Coffee and Cults. If you want to go check those out, make sure to go over to Jess's channel. And if you haven't seen any of her interviews, go and check those out because they're really good. And you can also find her on all the podcasting services, Hot Takes and Deep Dives. And
Say
I'm
hi on
gonna
Instagram.
Yep, follow Instagram, and I'm gonna go record drinks at Dana's now, so hopefully we'll have that out very soon. Have a great weekend. Anyone that's going to be at the watch party, come say hi, come say hi. And yeah, I'll report back to you after
I
and
can't
let you know.
wait. I need
Oh,
like in the moment reporting.
the voice notes, just
Oh,
wait
I
for
need
them.
to know fucking everything. Oh, I'm gonna send a collection of Bette hairstyles. Yes, to rate
Yeah.
that. I would love this. This I can find the energy to do for sure.
Love you guys so much. Have a great rest of the weekend. And Jess and I will see you soon.
Bye.
Bye. Boo.